Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Yes, it's been a while. I'm Phil and I'm here with Anthony. How are you, Anthony?
Yeah, good mate. As you say, it has been a while. Feels like a long old break this one. The international breaks normally do, don't they? But looking forward to getting back on the pod and back to some Premier League action this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been nigh on 3 weeks since we recorded because of the international break. For those who don't know, my daughter got hit by a car. She's okay, although she hasn't
Thank goodness.
she's got a mashed up foot, broken bones and stuff. But she is okay. But that obviously took priority over the podcast. So, hospital and stuff like that.
Where is your commitment, Phil? Come on.
I know. I'm sorry.
How could you possibly prioritise your daughter over the pod? Come on now.
I know. So yeah, it's been a tricky couple of weeks. In the midst of those weeks, we travelled with Mike, who's not here. We travelled to Aston Villa, which was exciting, wasn't it?
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, I had missed the old music quiz on the away day, on the drive up. Mike's driving, which is interesting.
Angry. If you could describe Mike's driving in one word, what would it be?
Fast.
Okay.
No, I'm going to change it. Actually, hurried.
Hurried. That is an excellent. Yeah, it's an excellent word. Yeah, fair enough.
Drive like a scolded cat. But hey, we made it. We made it back there and back in one place. And how lovely it was to spend some quality time, the three of us. Probably not so much the football, which we can talk about in a bit, but yeah, some quality time together was nice.
It was beautiful to see, and yeah, we shared a room, didn't we?
Oh yeah, baby! What a weekend!
Mike got ferried off to his own room because of his snoring. But we shared
snoring a room. And acid reflux, seemingly.
Oh yeah, you had that too. I'll stop the music. So this week there's a double game week coming up, I think. So what we thought might be fun is, because I have had other priorities, I haven't looked at my fantasy football team since before we went to watch Bournemouth play at Aston Villa. So I don't know how many points I got. I don't know what sort of situation my team is in. So we thought it would be just a nice, fun podcast to do, as many other millions of people will do, and load up our team and see what the situation is and what we should do. Anthony, you say you don't really think you've looked at much either?
No, I've seen my score. I can give you my score from the last game week, and that is as much as I've done.
Okay.
So on that, we were travelling obviously up to Birmingham in the car. Realised I only had 4 players who would have been playing in that game week 28, and realised I still had my wild card. So in the midst of closing my eyes during Mike's driving, I did open them for long enough to play my wild card, which I would say didn't go particularly well. 47 points. It was a pretty low scoring week, obviously, wasn't it? With limited fixtures, the average was only 33. But yeah, it was. I mean, if you look at I had a back 6 if you include Ramsdale. Ramsdale got 3. Romero got 1. Senesi, every time I play him, 0. Every time I bench him, he gets at least 8. It's amazing. Good old Senesi, 0. Ben Mee, 2. Trippier, 2. And Chilwell. We all had Ben Chilwell, I think, the 3 of us. He got a measly 1. So that was pretty tragic. So Maximin, I brought in a bit of a differential. He's a quality player. I think he's due to come back into form, isn't he? Well, he didn't. He got 1 point. Martinelli and Saka again, my Arsenal assets in the points, 7 and 18 respectively for those two. João Felix at last. I kept the faith purely because I had a fixture. He got 8. And obviously he's got a double game week this week. Unfortunately, my captain Tony, I get burnt by Tony every time. 2 points, double to 4. So 47 points. And I'm blaming you for this, Phil, because you did very kindly a few weeks ago. Well, a few weeks ago, I was having a bit of a stormer. I was flying up through the league. My overall rank was, I think, nearly inside the top 100,000. And you put a very nice tweet out praising me and saying how well I've done, etc., etc.
So what?
since that point, it's been all red arrows and it's going downhill again. So the correlation is that it's all your fault.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I'm really sorry. If it's any consolation, I don't believe I would have done too well either. I'll load up my team.
Let's do this. This is exciting. Maybe we should just do this every pod from now on. We don't look at our scores over the weekend, and we just actually Mike would never do that, would he?
Mike would not do that. I mean, it would restrict not being able to log in would restrict transfer movements. So yeah, I honestly, I do remember thinking this is a bad week, because we watched the Newcastle Forest game. We did some shuffleboard in Birmingham, which was nice. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, good fun.
And then we got back to watch the rest of the Newcastle Forest game and enjoy that last minute win for Newcastle. It's weird. I get more excited about watching Eddie Howe's teams win than I do upset that we lost to Aston Villa and paid for 3 different car parks.
And then took an hour and a half to get from the ground to the M6, which is about 500 meters or something stupid. So
that did anger me. Yeah. Little tip: if you are going to try and do a last minute park on my driveway, like I did, having Mike had already booked somewhere and didn't get a confirmation email. It's a long story. I then paid £16 for park on my driveway, only for us to drive towards the driveway, and because there was a match day, the road was closed, so couldn't park anywhere near that driveway. So good times. Then we paid a man who I think was just a man who had donned a high-vis jacket. We gave him what money we had, and he let us park in an underpass, which was blocked in. So we got completely blocked in. So happy days. Anyway, my team, let's load it up.
This is exciting. I feel like a drum roll is needed. Here we go. Can you beat 47?
No, he can't.
What is it? What is it? Even I don't know. This is super exciting.
Well, after transfers, it's a juicy 28.
Whammo.
My captain. Oh gosh.
Oh my Mudryk.
Yeah, I've just remembered. Yeah, I just remembered. I bought in Mudryk for a -4, and he got no minutes on the pitch. Oh, because we were listening on the way home, and he wouldn't bring him on. Yeah. Cheers, Potter.
Refused. Yeah. I mean, having seen him play for the Ukraine the weekend, I can understand why.
Yeah. Well, he's now a problem I've got, so that'll be something to deal with. So, triple Chelsea, Arrizabalaga, Chilwell, who was my captain, and Mudryk got me a total of 3 points. That's always a bonus. Trippier 2, Burn 1, Pinnock 2. Tarkowski was my second highest scorer with 4 points. So that's good. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Then you got Saka, thank goodness, who got 18. So 18 of my points were Saka, and I got 28 points. Dear.
This is a Mike Botto-esque week, if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, I figured it would be low scoring, and loads of people have frittered away their chips and stuff, and I've got them all to play with, and maybe this is a week I need to play them, because I'm staring at a team that's got Tarkowski, Burn, Pinnock, and Mudryk, and Dom Solanke, who I also took a -4 for, thinking we can watch him. And we can watch him miss 3 one-on-one opportunities against Aston Villa.
Yeah, a man bereft of any confidence, it seems.
Yes. Okay. So yes, not been kind to my overall rank. It would appear. Oh wow! It really hasn't been kind. What is that for real?
Go on, let's have a look. Let's have a listen.
Game week 26. I was 216k.
Right.
I'm now 579k.
That is quite a fall.
Yeah, it's a fall from grace. But all these people who played their chips, I might.
Yeah. Smart. You've played the long game, mate, as you always do, and it normally works for you. So it's by no means over yet.
Well, you say I've played the long game. I have a mess for a team right now. I benched Salah, Rashford, and Haaland who I believe Rashford and Haaland could be injured, or have they got international injuries? And what's the situation there?
Yeah, Haaland, Rashford, Pope's another one, big one for me. All with the horrible little orange triangle, but they're all coming up as knocks by the looks of it. I think 75% all groin injury for Haaland. That's not great. Yeah, it's trouble with international break, isn't it? And this is why I always find that what Mike does is quite mad, that he's bringing in players or taking out players during international games where they always get injured.
Yeah.
So this is an issue we're going to have, and we may have to be a bit risky here. But I mean, maybe do we want to reveal our teams here, almost player by player, because this feels like this could potentially be one of the last kind of big double game weeks to go, I think, before the season ends.
Well, we can do that, but I'm looking at my team and thinking, what on earth am I going to do? I mean, effectively, thank you for tuning in, listeners.
Still got though, right?
Yeah, but this is going to be really my therapy session. So thank you for joining us through it live. It's been a tough few weeks anyway. So let's join in looking at me with a team with Mudryk in. Oh, it's so annoying because he's got 2 fixtures. So people are effectively going to see our thought processes, how we work, and understand it's nothing short of a miracle that we do an FPL podcast, because we have absolutely no right to do so. What is this? So Rashford, wasn't he in New York doing something? Surely he's fine. He's just got one of those injuries that you mysteriously get when you don't want to play for England.
It's basically, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it, with international breaks? It's almost like players have the same thought process as most fans when it comes to international break, and that is that they just don't want to bother. So but there's two sort of points there for him, so he'll be slotting in or staying in my team, I would suggest, at the moment. So, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that one, because that's not ideal.
All I've heard, if I'm honest, Anthony, is that you're going to keep an eye on someone, because you went all crazy for me. I'm wondering if that's my end or your end, but I'm wondering if you might be able to just change your background. Yeah, just reduce bandwidth.
There we go. Try that. Hi.
Oh yeah, that's better.
That is smooth. Yeah,
it's a lovely decorated bedroom.
Is it though?
That picture behind you, is that silhouettes? Is that you, or is that?
We have covered this in the previous pod. I'm glad you remembered.
Just joking.
Don't make me talk about Shane Ward again, please.
Oh, that's my goal. Okay, so maybe for people who are as flaky as us on fantasy football, we just see what teams have got 2 fixtures coming up, because I can't remember for love nor money. So should we? I'll quickly go through the fixtures, shall I?
That'd be great.
Okay. So Arsenal this game we play Leeds at home. They've only got 1 game. Aston Villa play Chelsea away and Leicester away. Bournemouth 2 home games. Might want Dom Solanke. Fulham at home. Brighton at home.
Form. Yeah.
Brentford have got Brighton away and Man United away. Brighton have got Brentford at home, Bournemouth away. Oh, that is good fixtures, isn't it, for Brighton?
Really is.
Chelsea have got 2 home games. Maybe Mudryk will you know what? If I take out Mudryk now, you know he's going to do something against Liverpool. He's got Villa at home, then Liverpool at home.
Very winnable. I feel like you should captain him.
I don't, because do you remember in the car journey up to Villa, I said, should I captain Mudryk or Chilwell?
Yeah, but I mean, Chilwell will have only got you like an extra point, so...
Actually, you're right. Okay. Crystal Palace have got 1 game, Leicester at home. Everton have got 1 game, Tottenham at home.
Big game.
Fulham have got 1 game, Bournemouth away. Leeds have 2 games, Arsenal away and Forest at home. Leicester have got 2 games, Crystal Palace away and Villa at home. Liverpool have 2 games away, both of them, Man City and Chelsea. That's tricky. Man City have got Liverpool at home. Man United have got Newcastle away, Brentford at home. Newcastle have got... Oh, this is a long list. This is a lot of my voice, sorry. Newcastle got Man United at home and West Ham away, so 2 games for them. Nottingham Forest, Wolves at home, Leeds away. Southampton have got 1 game away at West Ham. Spurs have got 1 game away at Everton. West Ham have got 2 games. Southampton at home, Newcastle at home. That's decent, isn't it, for West Ham?
Really is. There's some huge relegation game. I mean, we know this relegation dogfight this season, certainly for a neutral, not so much for us. I know you're not bothered about Bournemouth and Phil, but this is one of the, for a neutral, this is one of the closest, I think, ever. Bottom 8 teams separated by 5 points. And there's some huge games here. Let's just take FPL out of this just for a minute. Forest are in free fall a little bit, getting dragged right into it. Wolves and Leeds for them. That is absolutely huge. So, this could be a real defining weekend. Both, I think, for the Premier League and potentially for some of us FPL players as well.
Oh, I tell you what, Anthony. But people listening to this may already know this, but I am glad I haven't wildcarded now, because wildcarding in game week 33 seems to make a lot of sense.
Go on, please do share this bit of knowledge you've just discovered.
So, just looking at the fixtures, game week 33. Is all right. It's just everyone's got one game. But game week 34, so if you wildcard 33, you can bench boost 34. In game week 34, Man United have got Villa and Brighton. City have got Fulham and West Ham. Liverpool have got Tottenham and Fulham. Brighton have got Wolves and Man United. Ooh.
Tell you what, that's the one, isn't it? That's the anyone who's still got their triple captainship, so that's me, you, and not Mike, probably be triple captaining Mr. Haaland at that point.
Yeah, so you're right. So I could free hit here, this week, because
you've still got the free hit, so you haven't used, just to clarify, any chips or your wild card.
No, I've been very busy, Anthony.
I think you're known as a hoarder.
No, man, I'm busy making personalised bookmarks for people.
And belts.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is with that just on the horizon. That is huge, isn't it? At the end of April, what a game week that proves to be.
Although, here you go. Game week 32, the week before I was saying potentially use your wild card. Brighton, Chelsea, Man United, Man City don't have a game.
Oh, not another one of these horrible ones.
So that might be when I free hit. Maybe I don't free hit. Anyway, so lots of teams have got doubles this week. Let's concentrate on this week. So reading up from the bottom alphabetically, like I like to, we got West Ham, Forest, Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool, Leicester, Leeds, Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa all have doubles this week. So talk us through your team, mate. Talk us through your team.
Okay, mate. So as it stands, this could be subject to change. This is no transfers made, obviously, up to this point, because as we know, we only checked our team this morning. So Mr. Pope in goal. Fingers crossed he comes through. Any injury scare here? I would then have a back three of my good mate Senesi, who's bound to get a nice big fat 0 across the 2 game weeks, or potentially a minus. Who knows? Trippier and Chilwell. So that's my
back three. Okay.
My back three. Into midfield, then I got Mitoma with those 2 really nice games, Brentford and Bournemouth. Just a 1-game player here with Saka, but I mean he's so good, and they got Leeds at home. I think he's too good not to. I think we can get sometimes 2 rats up into 2 games, and players often get more points from 1 game than another player would from 2. So he's certainly staying in. Rashford, fingers crossed he'll be okay, and then St. Maximin, I'll keep faith with him with Man United and then West Ham away. At the moment, a front 3 here of Mr. João Felix. Now he's banging form with those 8 points. I can feel more goals coming here with Villa and Liverpool at home. Ivan Toney, who I think touched the ball 3 times for England over the international break, so that was good for him. He's got Brighton away, Man United away, and then Mr. Haaland, of course, home to Liverpool. And I'm going to go super crazy as it stands at the moment and captain Felix.
Oh, Captain Felix likes Felix. Wow, okay. Cool.
But what I may do is make a couple of transfers so that I've got potentially 15 players playing 2 games, and I could bench boost.
Oh, that'd be juicy, wouldn't it?
Then my intro is one of those at the moment is Ben Mee, who does have 2 games, but it's Brighton away, Man United away. So not overly confident for some good points from a Brentford defender, but it's certainly tempting. Because I've got Ramsdale, Martinelli on there as well, and that's a very winnable game at home to Leeds. We know how good Arsenal are at the Emirates, so I've got a decision to make there, mate. What do you think to that team?
I think it's not bad. I think if because you've used your wild card, so you can't wild card in 33. I would suggest maybe bench boosting this week is a good idea because you've got a lot of players playing twice. So I would say that's probably not a bad call. Yeah, it's not a terrible idea, that, mate.
Thank you, mate. I can't tell if you're bluffing me or not, but I'll
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Right, time for yours, Phil. We know you've bigged this up as being a bit of a mess. Let's just hear just how messy it is.
Okay, just quickly whilst I'm loading this page. When we were away, I discussed the idea of drinking water whilst you're urinating. Have you tried it yet?
Well, you'll be pleased to know that as soon as we had that conversation, I forgot that we'd had that conversation
okay,
because
cool.
it creeped me out a bit. So no. Have you?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, but I thought it might create air bubbles in your stomach somewhere, or I wondered how much water you would have to drink to be constantly flowing, like a fountain, something like that.
I feel like instead of making belts this afternoon, you should just test this theory.
Well, I've got a job to do, so it would be tricky to. People would worry about me if I was in the loo for a long time. It'd be very unlike me. So, but yeah, if people are able to try it, who maybe are more of a slacker than I am, then great. Please do report back, because there must be a point in which it's just constant. Do you reckon?
I think yeah.
Because like pond. If you've got a pond, then the pipe sucks up the fluid and just squirts it out.
I would imagine it's just like a pond, yes. But please do let us know once you've decided to urinate and drink at the same time in between making some belts.
Well, I've done that. I've done that, and I told you I was disappointed because there wasn't. I was expecting more air bubbles in my stomach. I just wondered what would happen. But the continuing of drink, I haven't tried that. I haven't got the time.
Get yourself a nice litre bottle of Coke or something. Give it a go, mate.
What capacity is your bladder?
This whole Australian conversation is just getting weirder by the second. That's a great question. How big is a bladder? Anybody know?
What's the average? Hang on, average bladder capacity. Average bladder capacity. Oh,
I'm going to go. Go on. What is it? Actually, can I guess?
The Harrogate and District NHS Foundation Trust are giving us the answer here.
Hello. Go on then.
Go on, have a guess. Have a guess.
Okay. 800 mils.
It's not a bad guess. It says the average capacity of a bladder. I'll just see if anyone tuning in has answered. They haven't. They've not even tuned in. The average capacity of a bladder is only 300 to 600 mils.
Wow.
The average number of times you go to the loo each day is between 4 and 8, plus up to once a night if under 60-year-old and twice if over 60.
Yeah. My dad, who is 75, does complain about the amount of times he has to get up in the night. So yeah, that does correlate.
Well, just drink less. Just drink less.
Yeah. I have a cut-off of 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I've started doing this, I have started doing this.
I got bored of waking up at 3:30 a.m. every night.
Yeah.
Just drinking at 9 o'clock. Job done.
Yeah, and then, that's so weird. I've started doing that as well, and we're both the same age, and we both independently, we've not consulted on this decision, have we?
This is nearly as weird as the time that we both bought a bread maker at exactly the same time.
I know.
We're so cool.
Do you still use yours?
Yes, I made a loaf only at the weekend. Lovely old stuff. You can't beat the smell of fresh bread.
That's where we differ. I mean, I agree with the smell, but I haven't used mine for a while. I should.
You really should. Yeah, you really should. Do we want to get back to scale content, or should we?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can go there if you want.
Why
not? Okay, so let's look at the team as it is. I'll bring back in, the big guns, hoping that their injury was convenient just to get out of an international.
I feel like it was.
Yeah, it usually is, isn't it? Still not pretty. Arrizabalaga in goal. Trippier, Bernard, Chilwell at the back. I don't really want double Newcastle. They're not keeping clean sheets. So Burn may go. I think I've got 2 million in the bank. Rashford, Saka, Salah, Odegaard in the midfield. And you know what? I might captain Salah, even though he's got 2 really hard away games.
He seems to like the tougher games this season, doesn't he?
Yeah, although Chilwell's got 2 home games. And that worked out well last time. And then up front, Haaland, Solanke, and Tony. So I would have 8 players playing twice and Saka, Odegaard, and Haaland playing once. On my bench, I would have 3 players that are playing twice. As it stands, well, Mudryk, who won't play once, but he's down to play twice. Pinnock, who, I don't understand how he even got in my squad, let alone what he's still doing there. And of course, Danny Ward, who's been in everyone's squad since day dot. But yeah, I think I'd still prefer to play like a single week Odegaard against Leeds than a double game week Pinnock. Are you with that? Have you gone?
Oh no.
Oh, Anthony.
I'm back, I think.
I can hear you.
Oh no. This is all going wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, you're back for good. That's good news.
Oh, I'll take that. Sorry, mate. I think you were just bigging up your team there, weren't you?
No, bigging up is the opposite. I was smalling down. I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't know what happened to you, but effectively, it's bad news if you've got my team.
Yeah, I missed all of that. I'm sorry. You were just
no, it's fine.
I'm sure I heard 8 players playing twice, which isn't horrendous, mate. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it could be worse, couldn't it? It could be worse. But I think so. Let's do some live transfers. What team should I be targeting? Aston Villa, who've got 2 away games. Chelsea away, Leicester away.
I'll tell you who I would.
Go on.
I'll tell you who I really want to get in. I was really impressed with him playing for England the other day. Was James Maddison. Do like Maddis. Yeah. He's underrated. Always done well for me in FPL historically. Palace away. Palace no manager, of course, and in free fall, getting dragged right into the relegation fight. So they would be one team, and yeah, so him and Villa. I mean, maybe judging by how well he played against Bournemouth, maybe should be getting John McGinn, mate. I mean, we made him look like Iniesta.
Yeah, John Iniesta McGinn. You're right. Thing is, if I bring in Maddison, let's just say for some reason I want to get rid of Mudryk. Who knows why?
Yeah.
Maddison, I have got the money to go Mudryk to Maddison, and then I could get rid of Tarkowski for a cheeky -4. But for who? Anthony?
Mudryk for Maddison. Bear in mind, Mudryk's not playing and is useless to a player who is going to play and is good. Seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It does seem like a no-brainer. But I have never, ever, in the history of FPL, got points from James Maddison.
Have you not?
No, he's done me every time.
Yeah, see, you're like, that's Ollie Watkins for me, and that's Ivan Toney. Those two, every time. Last season, I had Ollie Watkins in 3 times, and I don't think he ever scored a single goal. Well, don't get Maddison, because I will. I'll get Maddison in and you don't. How about that?
Well, no, if I get Maddison in, then I've got to bench Odegaard.
So what?
Or Odegaard or Solanke with 2 games.
Well, having seen Solanke live, I would suggest he doesn't look confident in front of goal at the moment.
Let's see his last scores: 2-2-2, 5-5-2, 0-0-0, 2-1. It's not high scoring. So in his last 2 games, he's got 4 points. So Odegaard is capable of getting some points, isn't it? He got to go big or go home. It would be benching Odegaard would be what I would do in that situation.
You would bench Odegaard with Leeds at home over Dominic Solanke, who hasn't scored for about a year with 2 games, yeah?
Yeah, I believe that's what I'm saying. Yes.
That's mad or stupid or blind faith, mate. I'm not sure which, but yeah, sure, go for it.
Who would you get rid of out of Tarkovsky or Dan Burn?
Tarkovsky, probably him because he got Spurs at home. Spurs are bound to have the bounce. We haven't covered this yet, but of course the big news since our last pod and the most unsurprising news Premier League wise is that Conte was put out of his misery yesterday and got sacked. So Spurs are bound to have a mini bounce off the back of that. I mean, that was probably one of the most entertaining things about the drive home from the Villa game was listening to Conte's press conference after their 3-3 draw with Southampton, which was possibly one of the most entertaining press conferences I think I've ever seen or heard.
It was up there with the Rafa Benitez fact podcast. It could have been made into a podcast, but when Benitez went off on one at Fergie, do you remember?
Phil, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Ant. Don't you worry about me. Wrong. Stop saying that. It's fine. I can hear you. It's absolutely fine, Anthony.
Oh, this is incredible. This is incredible. Hello. Is this you or is this me? Because my connection doesn't seem to drop. You just go.
That's what I do best.
Yeah.
That's what I do best. I've currently got a wired connection, so yeah.
I've just done a speed test. It's all good. But anyway, Tarkovsky, no, thank you very much. I would get him the hell out of your team, my friend.
Excellent. Okay, so
there's my piece of advice.
Keep Dan Burn. So effectively, what we're saying is Everton's fixtures, which is Tottenham at home, Man United away, Fulham at home, is worse than Newcastle's, which is a double this game week, then Brentford away and Villa away. Okay.
Agreed. And plus Newcastle are hell of a lot better than Everton. I'm going to throw something out to you here. Potential. I've never done this, Mike Watto style, but live transfers on the pod.
You've just done a live transfer on the pod. Hang on, let me find some appropriate music. Or
Down the flaming pros, Benny!
I haven't hit the big purple button yet that says make transfers, but how does this sound to you? Saint-Maximin out, James Maddison in, Romero out, Cresswell of West Ham in. What do you make of that?
This is just ridiculous.
Coming for James. Well, I'm coming for James Maddison when you've told me I should get James Maddison in, and then you're going to nick him.
Well, no, I said about getting James Maddison in because I want to get him in.
But I thought this was my therapy session. Unbelievable.
Well, and that way, if we have the same player, then you can't gain any more points on me. So,
defensive.
Yes. Well, I have to try and defend what I've got. You see, it's a very negative attitude, isn't it? But that is what I love to do.
That's it. I've had enough. I've put up with your flaming bacon and eggs. I've put up with your flaming vacuum cleaner. I will not have you treating me like a child. Is that clear? Now get out.
I think I will the sound bites. That's probably my favourite.
Yeah, you can tell that I'm within the section that starts Aussie. I've got Aussie Stone Crows, Aussie Angry, Aussie Explain Yourself, Aussie Declaring Love, Aussie I Am a Grown Man.
I am a grown man, Malcolm.
Yes, Malcolm. So, Aussie Proud.
Let's take James Maddison out of the equation in terms of you bringing him in. If you weren't looking to bring him in, what do you make of those two?
So let's take James Maddison out of your equation. Good idea. I think that's a good idea. Cresswell would be a clever little move potentially. He's not done much this season. He has historically been excellent in fantasy football, but this isn't historical, is it? In 2020 to 21, he got 153 points. He got 11 assists that year. He got 4 last year, and this year. Do you want to guess how many assists he's got?
Do you want to guess what's just happened in my house?
The plumber's arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Be back in a minute.
That's it. I've had enough. I've put up with your flaming bacon and eggs. I've put up with your flaming vacuum cleaner. I will not have you treating me like a child. Is that clear? Now get out.
So Anthony did pre-warn me that the plumber might come. So at this point, I will plug a YouTube channel, which is absolutely amazing and is the reason for the title of our podcast, Holy Moly, What a Mess. It's called Criosan English, and it's these Ukrainian guys who go traveling, but they've got dubbed English audio over everything. and they've done a video of them finding a abandoned. Well, hello, what was that? They've done a video of them finding an abandoned cruise ship somewhere in a jungle, and if you watch that, it's spectacular. The subtitles and the dubbing over the top of English is exciting, and they keep saying "Holy moly," but the translator is saying "Holy moly." It's great, so I would recommend that. We can also play a game of guess what plumbing Anthony is going to get doing. I'm playing it on my own, so it's going to be a small game. So I'm going to go with it's a U bend, it's a blocked U bend. Oh, it's back. Anthony, can you hear me?
Yes.
How is your blocked U bend?
It's not that.
Ah.
Broken. Possibly a valve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, okay. That's not good. All I did when you went was plug a YouTube channel, which me and my wife watch. Excuse me. Called Creosan English, Kreosan English. There's some Ukrainian guys, and you'll love it. They go off traveling. They've done 2 videos that are any good. One is them finding an abandoned cruise liner, which is crazy anyway, somewhere in a jungle, and one is traveling to Thailand, and they have English dubbing over the top, and the translation isn't always perfect. So when obviously they're swearing in panic, it just goes, "Oh, horror!" It's great. You have to watch it. So that was that. So you've done Maddison and Cresswell. Cresswell has got no assists this season.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm just having a quick look at his points from the last few weeks, and he's actually only played. So in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he's played 45 minutes in the last 7 game weeks.
Yeah, I think you should do that transfer, Ant.
Yeah, no, I'm going to hit the X button. I am going to hit the X button. It's going to have to maybe it's Zuma.
Zuma.
Who on earth have West Ham been playing that Cresswell has not been playing?
Emerson?
Ben Johnson? No, he's not. Oh, yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play in the last game.
Is it Naef Agued?
He's got 21 points. Let's have a look. Yes, it is, Phil. Good shout, that. Yeah, he's played 90 minutes in the last 4 games.
Would it be crazy if you're free hitting? By the way, don't get a cat kicker in your team. I'll really hate you.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, just for you, mate. I will not go there.
What gent? What about if you're doing a free hit team that you could put together this week to try and get 11 players playing twice, all kind of decent? What about Jim Bowen and Danny Ings? So,
yeah,
Jim Bowen's 8 million, but he's got two home fixtures, Southampton and Newcastle, which isn't terrible. In his last home games, he's got 5.6 points and 2 points. It's not awful. Danny Ings, Antonio is injured. Skamaka does nothing. Danny Ings has played and started the last 3 games for West Ham. 6.4 million as well.
Yes, it's an option, isn't it?
Does make you think, why would you have bought Solanke? You idiot.
Yeah. But unfortunately, an option for me is I am going to have to depart this lovely pod. It has been nice because this plumber who has come to fix my heating does want to talk to me.
Okay.
Doesn't particularly want me to or listen to me talking about FPL. As lovely as it's been.
Well, I'll abandon the pod here then. We'll say bye. We'll update our teams on the socials. It's
Can
singular.
I just say
singular? It'll be on the Twitter.
I do have a quick time. I do have time, sorry, for a quick punch out for me this week. And just for laughs, it's going to be Dominic Solanke.
Oh, that would really take the bacon. That would.
Well, hence why I picked it, 1.9%.
Yeah, well, now I might keep him because that'll hurt less.
Mm.
What you've done there, you backed me into a corner.
Yes, 100%. And it feels like it's worked. So on that note, Phil, have you got time for a quick punt before I have to depart?
The question is, have you got time for me to have a quick punt?
Go for it.
Okay, let me sort my
Quickly
team selection. Scroll. There's a man who needs to look at your valves. Right, let's have a look. That's cheeky, guys. Solanke. Harvey Barnes.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, two good games there. Well, mate, it's been a pleasure. We have missed Mike as we always do, but it's been nice to to bring some content out there anyway. So, and to prove that we are actually still alive.
We are, yeah, we are. And love to all, and we'll be back hopefully next week. Me and Mike run a community festival next week, so we're super busy. Some tickets still available if you're near the New Forest area.
I'll tell you now, there's more chance of Dominic Solanke scoring than there is of us doing a pod next week.
In which case, everyone, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side.
Goodbye.
Take care. Bye.